when I look at you and your business scale today, it truly inspires me as a budding entrepreneur for sure. So I believe you started somewhere in 1988. So could you tell us a little about, how did it really begin? What was the thought process behind it?
So I worked for about 2.5 years, almost 3 years. And then I took a decision. I wanted to start on my own. And when I thought of that, I did not think of a lot of things. I committed a lot of mistakes because I didn't have an office space. I didn't have a client. I didn't have so many things.
Right.
But I just started without thinking. So somebody asked me, do you know to start you need a client? I said, yes. So he said, where are you going to get the client? I said, I don't know. So in those times, it was different. You could do it. And I was lucky. I was one of the lucky ones who got projects. Of course, we started with small projects. We started with ground plus one, ground plus two.
Right.
In far-flung areas like Badlapur and Kalyan and Ulasnagar and all there. That at that time there were only buildings of ground plus two going on over there. There was nothing more than that.
What kind
there were
of
no
projects?
Elevators, nothing in those buildings. Very small size, but I had already started.
Right.
So there was no looking back. So I started with everything. If anybody wanted to remodel a toilet, I did it.
Right.
If somebody wanted to do something in the kitchen or just one wardrobe space, I did it because I was forced to it. And basically, I'm a fighter. So I can't give up. So I did it and I started moving step by step, baby steps, till I started establishing myself.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I don't think it's that easy because there's a lot of competition. And getting a project today, because the scale of projects is large, nobody wants to give you a large scale project. They do not want to risk that much of funds.
Right.
If you are not confident enough, if you're not experienced enough. So getting a project of that magnitude or that scale would be a big challenge.
So, so as you said that till one establishes, till you took a time, a point where you establish yourself. Can you give a little context to what you really mean when you say till you're established?
So there again, so till you finish a building. So when a building is finished or you've performed maybe even halfway and the client is really happy with you. In my case, that was the case when the client actually looked at it halfway and he saw that my, my involvement, my, the zest, my push, my
Dedication.
fire, my dedication that was there. So the clients came up luckily with another project and he was so confident that I could do it. And he gave me the second project. When a client gives you a repeat project, that is a day when I think you feel that you've arrived.
Right.
You've performed. You've achieved something. Money is important. Money is, it is needed. But a repeat client is very important.
Right.
And that's the best earning I think any entrepreneur can get.
Right.
So that's, yeah.
When did that happen for you? So let's say you started in 1988.
So when I started in 1988, I started doing all these small projects. And to my luck or my destiny, I got one project, which was the same client who we were working for in Badlapur. He had a property in Thane. He just took over something and he gave me the project in Thane. That was almost about 6 months time. So I was one of the lucky ones. It's not easy. When I got the project in Thane, immediately after that, a friend of mine introduced me to a client and he was doing a hotel. And the architect that was there, he was not, up to the mark. He was not performing. So he said, why don't you come in and you finish the property?
Right.
So I did that. Halfway down the line, they bought another property, and there was already an architect on the project. So the client said, if you, I have this previous architect, I've been working with him, if you can give me a design which is better than him, then I shall consider you.
Right.
And I shall only pay you 25,000 for a full-fledged tower of 18-story.
Which would have taken 2 years to
2.5, 3 years.
Wow.
He said, I'll pay you only 25,000. I said, done. I was looking at it from the, long perspective. I was looking at it from long-term perspective. I was not thinking of the 25,000. I was looking at investing in that tower,
right,
which would give me more projects.
Right.
So we did the presentation. The client liked it. He says, I'll pay you only 25,000. I said, it's agreed, no problem. They went ahead and they launched the tower. They were looking at a price of 1,700 a square feet. They launched the tower on the day of the launch. By the end of the day, they went up to 7,000 rupees a square feet.
Wow, that's a steep.
So that was a steep thing, and the client was so happy. He called me on Monday. This launch was on a Sunday. He called me on Monday and he says, I want to meet you.
Right.
I just went over to him. So he says, what would be your fees if I had to if you had to do a tower, what would be your full fees? So I don't remember. I told him X amount. And he says, okay, I'll pay you for this tower, the full amount.
Oh, wow. So he did actually compensate for the...
he did compensate because he was really excited. He was, he never expected to get that price.
Right.
And when we, launched it with the model and everything, and I was a new client, I was a new architect. Nobody knew me. So he was a little scared. But just because the price that he got, he called me and he said, I give you this fees. And after that, there was no looking back.
Right.
I started getting projects after project because till today, I have the cutting of the newspaper, where they put the name of mine and they put the image of the building. So it was a big thing for me, and I've preserved it and I've kept it in my drawer. It's there.
Right.
And at times I just look out, I open it and see, and I remember those days,
Right.
when the project was launched.
Around what year would this have been?
This was about 1988. I started. It was almost about January or February of 1990. So
Wow.
That was a very short span that I took off. And I was lucky.
This is rare, right? I think
Yes,
within
it
2
is very
years,
rare. It is very rare.
getting the scale of project.
Yes.